Hi guys, okay, welcome to a new price comparison guide. This time we're going to be talking about GLA. So this is my one of my favorite price comparison guides, and I'll show you why in a second. So we'll start off with the Rebel for the GLAs. So we've got the vanilla and the demo generals are the cheapest at 150, whereas Tox and the stealth are 200. That one isn't that significant. You only tend to build one Rebel, or maybe two to go for oil captures, so that's not really a big one. It's just 50 cheaper for the vanilla and the demo. RPGs are the same across the board at 300, or obviously they're free from if you build a tunnel. If you build a tunnel, it only costs 800. So to get two RPGs, which are worth 300 each, that means your tunnel has actually only cost 200. So tunnels are a very good thing to build. Terrorists are the same across the board again at 200, so they're all shaded out. Hijacker, so Demo and Tox cannot build hijackers because they specialise in demolitions and toxins, so they don't get the hijacker as well. Now the stealth general can build them straight away without an arms dealer. Just build a barracks and you can build hijackers straight away, and they cost 600 and they are stealth, so that's a really good unit for stealth to make, especially because stealth doesn't have any tanks. So hijacker is a good unit to make. The only downside is it takes quite a long time to build. So vanilla GLA, the hijacker costs 400. Now I don't think the hijacker is stealthed for vanilla GLA, so I never really make it unless I'm stealth. Also, this has got an asterisk by it, so you need a palace to build a hijacker, and the plus key means you need to spend the general's point on the hijacker as well. Now, considering you need a palace, you need this general's point, and it's not stealthed, it might be a bit cheaper, but to me it's not worth building, so only build a hijacker when you're stealth. Okay, so demo, so the demo trap, that's, I don't know what's going on there, that's actually a mistake. Demo trap for, hang on a minute, actually sorry, that is correct. So it's the booby trap for demo, so I think it is free, yeah, so the rebels start with a free booby trap, that's why it's got 0 there, and you can place that on capturable buildings like an oil, so you can demo trap it, sorry, booby trap it, and then when an enemy rebel comes to capture it, it'll explode and it'll kill him, but it'll only damage the oil a little bit, so that's free. Tox doesn't have it, stealth doesn't have it, apparently vanilla has it, although I've never used that with vanilla. So I think you do you upgrade that from the barracks, I think? Not really too sure, I probably should have researched that, but I generally only use that if you're demo. So Saboteur, not many people use these actually. You're quite lucky if you see one of these used in a real game. So Demo and Tox don't have this, however Stealth does, and he is, I think he's stealthed, yeah, he's fully stealthed, and Vanilla has it as well, but you require a tech building, so I think you require Palace for Vanilla. Now what a Saboteur can do is disable buildings, and he can steal money. So he can steal money from a supply dock or a supply center, and he can also disable power. If you put him inside a power plant, it'll disable power for the whole army, the whole enemy that you've disabled, no matter how much power he's got, or if he builds more, that power is disabled for a short space of time. I think it's like 10 seconds, is it? But what the Saboteur is really useful for is putting on a bike and racing across the map, and then going inside an enemy super weapon, and it resets the timer. So that's a good unit to make. So Angry Mob is the same across the board at 800. Jean Kel is also the same at 1500. Jean Kel's a really good unit. As soon as you get a palace, you should always get the Jean, no matter what enemy you're versus, as soon as possible. Demo Trap, this is an interesting one, and a reason why Demo is one of my favourite generals is because the Demo Trap only costs 200, and it builds really quick, and it's really powerful, and it's stealthed. So let's say you build a Demo Trap and a Battle Master runs into it, you get the general's points for killing that Battle Master, and your Demo Trap has only cost you 200, whereas that Battle Master for the enemy has cost him either 800 or 700, depending on which army he's on. So you're at a massive advantage by building those Demo Traps. The only downside is that if you're against the USA, they could scan them and obviously destroy them, and it'd be a waste of 200. but because they're so cheap, you can put them all over the map, and the chances are eventually the enemy will run into it. When a load of Vs run into a demo trap, that's a good moment, and I love seeing the Vs die to the demo trap. Tox is 3 times the price at 600. It builds slower, I think, and it does less damage, so I never really build the demo trap as Tox. Stealth, they cost 400. Vanilla, they cost 400. I do sometimes mix them in with Stealth and GLA, but mainly with Demo, because they're so cheap and they're so powerful. And Stealth, well, the Stealth for all of them, but the price difference there, half price or a third of the price, is so much better. So with Demo, you should be building them. Scorpions. So for Demo and Tox, they're $50 more expensive than the standard Vanilla. Radar Van, doesn't really matter about Radar Van. The same across the board, apart from Tox is $550. I didn't actually know that. That's new to me. You never really notice though, and you don't. Most games you probably won't even build a Radar Van. If you're playing at top level games, you don't even need a Radar Van half the time. Okay, Tox Tractor. So 600 for Stealth, 600 for GLA Vanilla. Slightly more expensive at 650 for Tox. That's a bit weird, since Tox General is supposed to specialise in that, so you'd think it'd be cheaper. Demo is 750. Doesn't really matter too much, that one, because you only tend to build maybe 1 or 2 of them in a game max, so it's not too much of a big problem. Marauder, so obviously Stealth is blanked out because it doesn't have tanks. Vanilla is at 800, which is the cheapest, and Tox and Demo are at 900. I tend to never really build Marauders, but it looks like if you were ever to build Marauders, you should probably build it when you're Vanilla, because 900 is quite expensive for a tank, when you could be making Scorpions instead for 600 or 650. That extra 50% price tag and the slow build time, I don't really like Marauders. Although when they're scrapped up, they're really powerful. I really don't like them because you can only have a few on the map because of the long build time. But like I said, if you do build them, probably build them as the GLA Vanilla because they're slightly cheaper. Bike, this doesn't really matter too much apart from maybe the Demo. So Vanilla is 500, Stealth is 550, Tox is the same price at 550, and Demo is the same at 550. The only time you want to be really building a bike is if you're Demo and you go in Demo bikes, you can run into enemy stuff and blow them up. Tox and Stealth and Vanilla, you only ever want to be building a bike if you're going for a capture. So if you want to race across the map on any map and capture an oil really quick without sending the rebel walking in by himself, then you can just spend that one single amount on a bike to go and capture that. But like I said, it doesn't really matter that much for that one because you only tend to build one of them, apart from Demo obviously. Okay, so technical, this is an interesting one. So you'll often see GLAs making technicals against either China's or especially USA's. You'll be making loads of technicals. So Demo is usually quite weak versus like Air and most USA's early on because of the techs price. If you keep spamming techs at 600, that's $100 extra every time you build a tech than the other GLAs. That quickly adds up, and if you've got like 10 on the map, that's an extra 1,000 that you've spent on technicals. So it's better to make technicals as the Tox, Stealth and Vanilla rather than the Demo. Okay, so the quad. So this is an interesting one, and it can change battles and stuff. So another reason why Demo is weak versus Air is because of the expensive quad. So it's got expensive techs and expensive quads. So over the long course, then you'll be down a lot more money rather than the Stealth and the Vanilla, where the quads are only 700. So it's more expensive for the Demo and the Tox. That's an important one to remember. Because you'll always know that a Stealth and a Vanilla is able to have more quads than a Tox and a Demo. So if you have a China and try and make helixes or air units versus the Demo and the Tox rather than the Stealth and the Vanilla. So Scud Launcher is the same across the board, apart from Stealth, which doesn't have Scud Launchers. It has cheap Buggies instead, which I'll come on to in a second, and they're the same across the different armies at 1,200 each. It's got a plus and an asterisk by it, so the asterisk means it needs a palace, so they all need a palace, and the plus means you need a general's point. So I can't remember for demo if you need the general's point or not, but for Tox and vanilla I think you do. Actually, I think you do for demo as well. Buggies, this is my favourite one then. So Buggies for stealth and vanilla are 900 compared to demo of 1000 and Tox of 1100. So everyone probably thinks that Tox easily beats stealth, and yeah, early on when the when you've got loads of scorpions out, even though they are the more expensive scorpions at 650, Tox is pretty strong versus stealth. However, if stealth makes the hijackers, uses its stealth tunnels and uses its cheap quads, which are, where are the quads? They're 700, and then manages to get to the late game, stealth can then make Buggies at 900. And when you've got invisible tunnels all over the map and you've got a mass amount of Buggies that you can pop out of any tunnel and take down any units or any enemy tunnels, then the Tox quickly becomes the weaker army. The only chance Tox has late game is the rebel ambush with the Tox rebels to counter the Buggies. But if you think about it, let's say it's a late game Tox versus stealth. The Tox has got all its tunnels exposed and it can't stealth them, so it's losing tunnels left, right, and centre against the enemy Buggies. And even let's say the Tox has got loads of Buggies, he pops his units and tries to take down a tunnel, but the tunnels are stealth, so you're having to get a radar van out, having to get the radar upgrade and constantly be scanning, and the scan takes like 30 seconds to reload. So that's why Tox versus stealth is an interesting matchup, because Tox is strong early on, but then stealth quickly becomes the more powerful army later on. It's quite a balanced matchup actually, and I quite like it. And again for vanilla they're 900 as well, so cheaper than both the demo and Tox, and obviously GLA vanilla can stealth its tunnels as well. So bomb truck, you never really see this, however after my bomb truck trick video hopefully some more people will be doing this. I'm going to try and make some videos actually where I do a bomb truck, because they're underused, and as we saw in the previous video, one bomb truck can kill a whole oil, so it's a maybe we could start using things like that to kill an enemy oil rather than doing a terror attack, because it probably costs the same or cheaper to do a bomb truck. So for demo they're 1000, which is when you want to be building it because they're stronger, and the others are 1200. Probably would only try this if you're a demo general. Battle bus doesn't make too much of a difference, because you're only probably going to see a few battle buses on the map at most, unless it goes really late game. But demo probably wants to be going demo bikes. Where's the demo bikes gone? There's a bike, sorry, 550. Because one bike can kill one bus, so you want to be building bikes. So demo's the most expensive at 1200 for battle buses, Tox at 1100, and stealth and vanilla at 1000. So the stealth, again, if you want to go battle buses, chances are you're going to have stealth tunnels all over the map, so you're going to have the free RPGs and you can load them into your battle bus, which is cheaper than the other GLAs, and same for vanilla. So yeah, I'll post a link for the description in the description below. Any comments or anything, leave them in the comments below, and please like and subscribe and share my videos if you like what you see. So yeah, thanks guys.